So are there any questions or before I try to start? Oh, it looks different. What is going on here? I don't like the way it changes all the time. Okay, so we said we were going to do the one that had the spring. Let me see if I can find it, and then we'll move on. Oh, but wait, we were going to do it over in there. Is that right? Wait a minute. Is that listed on the 5th, or is that? Oh yeah, so it looks like it's listed. Okay, looks like it's listed a different day, but I don't know. Well, the other question I have. Wait a minute. Oh, okay. Okay, it's format. You can't move any of these bars. Is there a way I can just look at that? Well, let me just write the information down, and then I'll try to get that picture to become bigger. Okay, so it says it has unstretched. Okay, here we go. Unstretched length. How about this? Length unstretched equaling to 0.8 meters. And the spring stiffness of KOA equal to 1. I'll do it that way. Now I'm going to try to make this picture bigger. And I think, okay, determine the tension. Okay, so he's looking for F OD. I can't even see which one's OD there. Determine the tension in cable OB. And probably another one too, maybe. Okay, OC. Oh, the member force in the strut. OC. Okay, now I got to get this picture to come up. So maybe I can go back to the other view. And if I double click it, no. But maybe I can do this. No? Here we go. That doesn't work. No, it doesn't. Okay. Okay, this is 362. Let me go to the book. And the picture might, because I think there, okay, yeah, the picture's okay there. What was wrong? Oh, this was what was wrong. All this was looking funny. So I don't know what that 5 was. But that's the same thing as that. I don't know what the greater than some of this. So I'm going to ignore all that and look at all the rest. So let me get the mouse up here because that's in the way. And I guess I need to shrink it down to the point where I can actually see it. Oh shoot. Maybe I'll make it, okay, so let's see. If I scroll down, okay, well I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll do the best I can for each of the vectors. So let's say the unit normal, O to the weight, is going to equal to, there is X, there's Y, so that's got to be Z up off the page. Then that vector would be going down, so it would be minus K. The other things I need to know is the unit vector from O to A, and that would be going that way, only out this one. And that's a positive, so the other one would be negative. And then the unit vector, okay, so the OD, the OC, and the OB are the ones I gotta work on. So now that I have that, oh shoot, let me work on the OD first, and then I'll scroll down, because I see a bunch of measurements that I think I'll need here to get to there. So what I'm gonna do is R, O to D, and then I'll scroll down and work on the others up there. So to get to D, okay, it looks like, okay, I have to look at this for a minute. Looks like I can go here. And then, it's funny, he has this slipped over, so I guess I could go this way, and then I guess I could go that way. So, first I'll pay attention to the X, which is 2. Then I'll pay attention to here, which looks like 4. And this is the problem. If I scroll down, this and this disappear. And that was the reason I needed to do this first. And then I need to go up. Well, okay. So you're going to go 4 out, 2 back across, and then 4 up. So now, I'm going to use that in a second to find this one. But I'll do that after I find the other 2 vectors. And so now I'm going to scroll down. And then I don't need that information to get to D. Now I need to get to C or to B. Okay, so if I go R, O to C, I kind of see that I'm going to assume it to go this way. You may find that the vector flips, because this may hold it out, which is why they kind of did it as a strut, so it might be in compression. You take a rope, you put it in compression, it just flops. If you pull it in tension, it stays there. So I'm going to draw a vector from here, seemingly straight up to there. So I think I go here and here, which that's Z, this has to be X. So minus 4I. There's no J, so I can do this. And then plus 3K. Okay, I know this one, and that's a 3, 4, 5. So now we go R, O to B. And, okay, how do I get there? I could run down this, run down that, and run up there. So this is the X, so I'm going backwards 2. This is the Y out here, so I'm going backwards 4. And then I'm going up 4. So now I can go here, U, O, C, U, O, B. And instead of trying to figure this out, I'm gonna, now the OC I can figure out. It's minus 4/5 I plus 3/5 K. Because of 3, 4, if you take 4 squared and then 3 squared, square root it, you get 5. And so that one I can look at. This is 2, 4, 4, 2, 4, 4. Just out of curiosity, let's see, 4, then plus 16, plus 16. I'm squaring that, and squaring that. Let's see, 16 and that's 20. Oh, it's 36. Is that right? So hey, so in 6 times 6, 36?
Yes.
Okay, so hey, so I don't have to, so 2 over 6i plus 4 over 6j plus 4 over 6k. And then on the bottom I have minus 2 over 6i minus 4 over 6j plus 4 over 6k. So that's the 5 vectors that are the unit vectors that are originating from O, pointing in a particular direction. So, is that okay? Does that seem sufficient so far? But see, I haven't ever solved this problem, so I don't even know how this is going to map out. Still don't know what that 5 is for. I know that maybe that's supposed to, 5, they typeset it, so maybe that's supposed to be an equal. Is the 5 close to, no, 5 is a percent. So that, I was just thinking somebody didn't hit the shift key. That's supposed to be a divide by symbol. So the greater than, no, oh, well the divide by symbol is 1 key over to the right. So I could see that being a typo. Somebody hit the wrong key there. The 5 I don't understand yet. Okay, but the sequence. Okay, so if we look at the sequence now, and let me get away from this and then come back to it. And the way I'll get away from it is use MATLAB so I can hide the picture, and then I'll come back to the picture in a minute. Okay. So the way he does this is he says sum of the forces vector, equals to 0, 0, and 0, because there's an x, a y, and a z component. So I'll just go down the list. The force OW is going to be the weight times the UOW plus FOA times the U. Yeah, but I'm just going to use one subscript for the force. F directed, because they're all directed from O, but let's say FA unit OA plus F, is that D? That's a D, I think. UOD plus, this is what he'll do in the book, C times UOC plus FB U. Now, I guess he did write O. All right, okay. Just to be like him. OB. Now, if you look at this equation, it's a matrix equation in which I'm going to do sum of the forces in X, sum of the forces in the Y, sum of the forces in the Z. I'm going to list them in this sequence. It really doesn't matter what sequence you list them in. UOA, UOD, UOC, and UOB. And then that is going to give you, picking this up, I'm going to have a W, I'm going to have an FOA, an FOD, C, and an FOB. Now, this is going to also equal to, it looks weird that this is a 3 by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 3 by 5 times a vector which is a 5 by 1, which will give you a 3 by 1. These have to, inner dimensions must match. That's the error that MATLAB will give you if you try to multiply it correctly. 0, 0, minus 1, oops. 0, minus 1, nothing. Okay, I gotta make sure I write this down. 2, 6, 4, 6. I hope I did I make a mistake? Is there anything? It's very possible I made a mistake. So if I did, if there's something that's bothering you right now, it's probably that I made a mistake. So if you can speak up and tell me where I goofed, that'd be helpful. Okay. You don't have enough information to deal with this until, and unfortunately, I guess I got to bring the picture back up, or I could go over and see what's the weight in the problem. Let's first find out the weight. 50 kilogram crate. Okay, so 50 kilogram, 50 times 9.81 equals so many newtons. Here. That's 450, no, 490, or is it 460? I can't see it. 490. So, I'm just going to go in here. 9.5. So that way, this times all this, I'll move it to the other side. But for the moment, I'm just going to put it in there. The next one, he's told me, or telling me, and I didn't look at the geometry, so now I'm going to go back and look at the geometry. The geometry is such, okay, the unstretched length is 0.8. Really? The unstring has an unstretched length of 0.8 and a stiffness of that. Okay. Oh, I got both of those, sorry. Okay, so let's look at the geometry. The unstretched length. Oh, okay. I thought it said 4 meters. I was like, wow, that thing is really stretched. No, but it isn't stretched that far. So the delta that is stretched is 0.2. So this string, if it wasn't connected, it would be back here at 0.8. You put the weight on it, it stretched it out. So its deflection is that. So the force in this member, what is that? OA. FOA is equal to 1200 times 0.2. And that's all it is. Let's see. It's 240? Is that right? That may be wrong. Let me just make sure. Oh no, my brain still works to some degree. So now I'm going to go back to the MATLAB so I'll have a backdrop there. So that's 240, and that is OA. Now, the only thing you'll have left is you don't know these three. So you got a matrix in which you can strip away these two, move them to the other side. How do you do that? Here's how I'll do it. I'll focus on this part and these three. And you'll have 2/6 minus 4/5. And that's 2/6. 4/6. Now I could change this to 1/3. It's not bad. And minus 4/6, 4/6, 3/5, and 4/6. When I type it in MATLAB, it's really no difference because I have to enter, if it's, if I take the 2 out and 1/3, I still have to enter a 1 and I still have to enter a 3. So I still have to enter the same number of digits on the keypad. So I'm just going to keep it that. So it is true I can change that and get rid of the 2, but FOC and FOB. Now, what I'm going to do is in one fell swoop, these are both minus signs. I'm going to move them both to the other side. And I'm going to write them like this in a weird sort of way. And I'm even going to, excuse me, I'm taking the 490, 5, and then do the 40. Now, okay, so I'm going to focus on this. This is 3 rows by 2 columns. Times a 2 rows by 1 column. Still gives me a 3 by 1. Inner product dimensions have to agree. I'll show you that in a second. MATLAB has this thing. I'll make a mistake in MATLAB and show you what it says. Here, let me make a mistake in MATLAB on purpose and show you. And I'll walk behind the screen. I don't think I can come up with it. So, I'm going to say R is equal to, and I'm going to focus on this matrix right here, and then I'm going to make that one and multiply them. And then I'm going to goof it up on purpose and show you what I mean. Okay. The minus 1 in those 2 locations. Okay, let's see if I can get this. Oh shoot, I forgot what let me see. Okay, the second one. Okay, there's one of them. That's the one. Let me make sure. Yeah, that's one. Then 490. Then I'm going to do, there's an R. And I'm going to do some HS, right hand side. R, HS. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. 490.5. And then I think it was 240. And then I'm going to put a funny number here. Oh, well, let's go ahead and do that. I mean, I'm just doing something silly. R times HS. So it tells you this. Error using incorrect dimensions for matrix. Check that the number of columns in the first matrix matches the number of rows in the second. They changed the thing because it used to say inner product dimensions must agree. So let me fix it and just take that one out, and now it should work. So, essentially, this is those terms. So you multiply 490, it fills out the bottom, the 240 fills out the top. Actually, you should have caught my error there. Did you catch what I made a mistake on? I moved the minus sign, moved it to the other side, so that should be plus and that should be plus. Does that make sense? So I made a mistake there. So here, I'll use the green marker and make a plus there. And then I'll go back to MATLAB and fix that. Well, it's off the screen now. So I still hadn't entered the other part of the matrix, but here, this one is the one I'm supposed to put. I'm going to change that to a plus, change that to a plus. Here we go. So there's your right hand side, but now I'm going to call it RHS is equal to that. So there's my right hand side. Now my left matrix I'm going to have to spend a minute or two. I guess I'll make the screen go back up. I'll make the screen go back up, and then I'll enter the matrix itself. I'll have it in reserve so I can make it go back down. So now I'm going to enter this. So I got to enter that one, that one, that one, and that one, that one, that one. Actually, if you have them listed in MATLAB this way, you can turn them and list them in column format. But I haven't entered any of these U's, and so I'm going to just enter this matrix. This sounds silly, but it's so hard for me to kind of figure this out. So I'm going to do it like that, so I can just go over and sit down and look at my phone and enter the matrix there. It's so hard for me to look back over there. So here's my matrix K, and it looks like I got 2/6 and a space minus 4/5 minus 2/6. Next row, 4/6 minus 4/6. Next row, 4/6, 3/5, 4/6. Let's see what I got. Looks okay as far as I can tell. And now I can do inverse of K times the right hand side. And there's all my numbers. Okay, so you gotta match this sequencing. Ooh, it's all kind of covered, but so I entered the matrix here, that, and then it spit it out and it looked okay, and then I did the inverse times the right hand side, and that's the numbers I got out. So I'm getting in the sequence OD equaling to 480.375, and he's probably going to ask if I need digits or something. OC 150 and OB 120.375. This will be interesting what he wants. Let's see. I will have to go, if I'm going to enter them, standard view, I'm going to have to shrink this back down. This is OD. I don't have it on the thing, but it's right over OD. I guess that's the 4A. 3 sigma. So 480. I'm just going to enter 480. Hit newtons. Oh, I've goofed up somewhere. Here, let's see, what did I goof up? Now, first of all, OD, did I write down the right one?
It
Uh-huh.
has a different mass on this one than the other one.
Oh, it does?
Yes, sir.
Oh, it's got 70 kilograms. What did it have on the other one?
50.
Okay. Here we go. 70 over 50. I'm going to multiply everything. It's superposition. So. Okay. Let's try that again. Okay, so now. Okay, so you're going to do times 70 divided by 50. Okay, 672. This is, I feel like I'm cheating or something, but where's the thing? Is that it? No, this is it. Oh, it says no. What else did I do? Huh?
Maybe if you round up.
Oh. To what? 673? Let's try it. 7 attempts left. Oh no! Here, let's see what the unstretched length is. Oh, wait. Okay, I can't. How do I get the rest of that? Is it off the screen? Okay, here we go. Okay. Now let's make sure I'm writing the right thing. OD, which would be the 4, 2, and the 4. Let me just, I did something that I probably should check. Let's see. Here, I'm going to use my phone again since I can't see at a funny angle there. I want to check these out. I want to check and make sure that the length is what I wrote down. I mean, I'm almost sure that I'm right there, but we don't know. We don't know that for sure. You can mess up one simple thing. ROD equals to, let's see, 2, 4, and 4. So UOD is equal to ROD divided by norm of ROD. ROA. Wait a minute. Okay, wait. Go back. This was supposed to be ROD. Now let's go back. 1/3. Is that what I got? 1/3. 1/3. 2/3. 3/3. Okay, so that's 2/3 and 2/3. Okay, so I'm pretty sure it'd be the same thing here. Well, let's make sure I didn't do my sign. I did my signs correct. So okay, -2, -2. I don't have my picture back, but let me bring my picture back. Make sure. There's the better picture. Okay, I know this is kind of confusing and awful, but let me check each of these vectors, because the key is, if these are off, if I interchange the minus sign or something, if there's a minus sign off here, it'll propagate through. So the links, you know, if I got a 2, 4, 4, so I want to double check these. I don't know how to get those out. Of course, I got them in my phone, but it's kind of busy. Let's do ROC first. Maybe I could just pull that thing down. Sometimes technology is not what you really want. I can look at these vectors on my phone. So here's what I'm going to do. When I look here, make sure I got ROD. So I'll move out 2, and then move out this X is 4, and move up 4. So I think this point sits, from what I can tell, it sits inside this quadrant. ROC goes back 4 along here, goes up 3. That's what I'm showing here. Then this one, the B that is, goes backwards X. It goes backwards 4 to get to this spot. It goes up 4. So I think I've got each one of those correct. Okay, now that I've got each one of those correct, like it should be that, let me do this. Oh, you cannot multiply times 5. You know why? That does not work. Let me tell you why that doesn't work. Okay. You can't just, this is not a superposition because there's 2 loads. So the answer is not that. The answer is not that altogether. This one got increased. Now instead of 490.5, it's supposed to be 70 times 9.81. The spring value didn't change at all. So let me go back. So I cannot use superposition because there are two forces. If both forces were increased, that'd be the same. They are not both increased. So you go all the way up to here. That is that one, right? But now, instead of 490, that's supposed to be 70 times 9.81. And then we'll go all the way back up to that. So the 240 remains the same. I don't know if you can see that. The 240 remains the same. This one changes to 686.7. And the reason that shows up in the bottom is because we take this, multiply this is a z force pulling down the way it's pulling down in the z. So you made the z go against gravity there. The 240 stays the 240. Now I should be able to go back. I already have k, so now I should be able to get that. Okay, so those should be the answers. Let's try. Copy. Now I'll try to find, paste. All right. Now the next one is OB. Okay, I got to make sure that I've listed OB the next way. OB is my bottom one. I don't know if I should enter 267 or 268. I better enter 268. Okay. And then the last one. Okay, the last one I got. Determine the force in the strut required to support the crane. Okay. I think that was 150, maybe. I always get it. Okay. All right, I was about to say I get an extra try. So the mistake I made was, like you said, the 70 kilogram. The second mistake I made was the second force occurred because of this and that. None of that changed. So I had to go change the correct things here, which were leave that one alone and change the 490 to the 686, which is right behind here. Take the same matrix because everything I did okay was okay here, and then I got the right answer. So I thought the problem had an extra unknown, but the way he had listed them here is just two forcing functions. So I thought we were going to get to solve a more interesting problem. But that's okay. The sequence is exactly the same. I mean, and this is the reason I like putting the format here, is because you can look at it and see everything, and then start deciding what you know down here, put it in there, then take these two over to the other side. So if you think about it, these two times this can just be extracted out, moved to the other side. They're supposed to become positive, which I goofed. And then you're left with these and these. Because this goes with this one goes with that one, this one goes with that one. These two go with these two, so I just took those to the other side. So, so that's that one in a nutshell. So I did your bonus for you. And if no one, then you three can get it, and everybody else can wait for whenever, because I'm not going to change the due date on that one. So they just won't get credit. So that's okay. As a matter of fact, maybe what I'll do is I'll just start throwing bonuses and just work them in class and like make them do like the next day. You know, I don't care. Okay. We've got 5 minutes. Y'all have any questions or? No? So I'll give you a heads up on what's happening next, and what's happening next has to do with torques. But inside statics, it's always interesting to me because, let's see if I can hit this. It won't take me but 5 seconds here. It's always interested me because let's say you're out changing your tire. You got a bolt on here, and you have a tire iron connected to it, and you put a force here. You know it's a torque, there's a distance, and there's a force. So it's so many foot-pounds. Foot-pounds of torque, which is just R times F. But in statics, it's called a moment. And it seems interesting to me when it starts moving, they call it a torque, but they're actually the same thing. There's no difference. So a torque wrench is the same thing as a moment wrench. I don't know. So we'll get into the details here. It actually is and does become a cross product. And we'll get into the details of that. And so you'll get used to doing cross products. And you've probably seen this before. IJK, AX, AY, AZ, BX, BY, BZ. And this is nothing more than a vector A crossed with a vector B. And so you've seen that before. And so it's just a matter of doing that. Now, Beauty MATLAB has this thing that just says cross A comma B, where each A and a B are both written in vectors like we did before. So you can go boom, and you get your answer. Or you can write it down on the page and double check things. So this is just taking a determinant of this and does a cofactor extension. He talks about this. There's a couple of pages of this. We'll go through it next time, and we'll start doing some problems with it. And what we'll find out is there's several features or interesting things that were observed over the years, and they have little terms about line of transmissibility, and all these different terms are associated with things that are interesting that occur out of this. And we'll look at each one of those. But this is your base, R cross F, but it's no longer A, it's no longer B, but it's R and F, and then it becomes a moment. And so essentially the whole chapter moves pretty quickly, but it's got several little things about definitions like line of transmissibility, and some weird things about the way he works the problems that at first you look at and you're like, what is he doing? And then if you sit there and think about it for a minute, it makes a little sense. Like if any particular two of these are 0, then there's no reason to carry that one. And so sometimes he'll even completely remove it and not tell you. And so we'll look at some of those cases and try to make heads or tails of it so you can see what he's doing so that it won't surprise you as you go through this set. And everything comes back to this. And I use this one to death, and it's just like, what is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 keystrokes. So me, I could type that in and enter that after you entered A and B. So I don't know, you can see that I like to use MATLAB because of these. I like to see things in matrices. I can see things better. I don't know if you can. But the book, he does things like this and breaks them apart. But I don't know, whatever, either one you want to do. If you see it in the book better and you like that, that's fine. That's totally fine by me. But I guess we're done. And we'll come back. Now, is this Friday? Fall break? Is that next Friday?
This Thursday.
This Thursday. Does it include Thursday and Friday? Oh, okay. So we'll still do Wednesday, but we won't do Friday. Now, I've got to go to a meeting on the 12th and the 11th in Fayetteville. I volunteered to do a meeting up there. But I'll send you an email about that later. Because that's the week. Is that right? That's next week. Gosh, I can't keep up. Let's see. Well, it's a week from tomorrow. And then Wednesday. So I'll be out 11th and 12th. But I'll be here the 10th, but not the 11th and 12th. Then I'll be back the 14th. But you'll be taking break 6, 7, 8, 9. So I'm done.